Hey, Jenny. So thank you so much for coming on today and doing our little client coachee interview. I've been so impressed with your results. It's why I coach. It makes me so excited to see people come alive. But even more, it makes me really excited when you come to a call all pissed off, like you did last one with Wednesday when we were supposed to do this. And by the end of the call, not only did you leave relieved and happy, but you went and you told others what you had learned. And I think that's really the true value of what I can bring to my clients. And that made me so happy. And it just makes me feel like as a trainer and as a coach that I'm here doing the right thing. And so I just wanted to do a little interview today to kind of go through and not only for my future clients and for myself, my own ego, but to help you recognize how far you've come since the beginning of 2021, since January 4th. I would love for you to kind of tell us, what was life like before we met, and where were you at that point?
I was heavy, weak, frustrated, and life was all about everyone else. And I took no time for myself, whether that meant eating well or taking a walk or working out or everything. My children came first, my husband came next, my dog came next, my job, everything came before me. And that's that had to change.
And so what were and tell us how old your kids are too.
My kids are almost 2.
And
Yeah.
they're
So
twins.
May 17th, they will be 2. Yes, I have 2-year-old twins.
Yes, a boy and a girl. So they're not like the same. They're
Yes.
very
Polar
different.
opposites. Polar opposites.
That's great. And so what were your goals coming into the program?
My number one goal, and all I was looking at it at when I first spoke to you, was weight loss, because I was working out a little bit here, there, on, off, making excuses. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at that. But I needed to lose the weight. I felt like if I lost the weight, the training would be easier and workouts would be easier, which they are, but I had tunnel vision of weight loss.
And so what do you feel like you're training for?
So I am training for Spartans. I am doing a trifecta. I had 2 out of 3 of my races done when I got pregnant 2 years ago, 2018. Oh my gosh, 3 years ago. So I was pregnant, and I come to find out I was pregnant during my second Spartan race. So 9 miles of the most difficult 9 miles of my life. And it turns out that was the most difficult 9 miles of my life because I was pregnant. But then I didn't get to finish my trifecta, so I didn't reach my goal. And I've been raising little tiny babies, and now they're older, and they sleep through the night, and they go to bed at 7 and they wake up at 7, and I have more time for myself. So I am training for my trifecta.
Lucky lady, because I still wake up every morning and my 8-year-old is somehow in my bed. I'm not sure at what point he comes in, but I remember as a kid wanting to be in my parents' warm bed too. So I
Yeah.
end up there by the mornings too. So what do you think was really holding you back before we started together? Because if you'd like to, actually, we'll hold off on the results, but
Okay.
um, because that's so exciting. So what was the struggle? What held you back? What made it so hard?
I needed like I needed you. I needed an accountability coach. That's what I needed, of somebody to say, "Hey, tell me what you're eating." And I have to admit, well, I had Chipotle once this week and Five Guys, and then but I ate my eggs in the morning, but then I had pizza for dinner. So I had to tell you those things, and saying them out loud to another person, an adult, who's going to go, well, that's why you're not losing any weight. I needed that. And I really needed recipes and structure. And I needed to get on the right path of buy this versus this. And you said something during you were doing a post, and you said shop the outside of the grocery store. And that really just resonated with me, because if you think about that, it sounds so simple, but everything on the outside of the store is in a refrigerator because it's fresh, or it's a fruit or a vegetable, just healthy, clean eating. So having you keep me accountable and giving me recipes and programs and them changing so it doesn't get stale, it made all the difference.
Hmm. And then you came to me with a trainer. And for
Yeah.
me, I had to step back a second and, and let my guard down, because when somebody already has a personal trainer, you're kind of like, are they better than me? Are they already getting everything that they need? And when we really discussed, what was just the missing pieces, I was really excited and willing to be that extra person that filled all those holes, because I remember when I used to go to the gym all the time and I was getting no results. I couldn't understand why, because I felt like I was always at the gym, right? So, so before we started, you were seeing a personal trainer a couple times a
Mhm.
week. And were you doing anything with nutrition or following any kind of
So
plan?
yeah, I've been seeing my trainer for years. And I used to go 3 days a week, but I'm down to 2 days a week, which is fine. But it's all about, we're training specifically when I'm with him for a Spartan, right? We are uh in a gym, well, a private gym, but we are climbing ropes and doing monkey bars and lifting up buckets full of rocks and weightlifting and chin-ups and pull-ups, and it's just very specific. But there was no um nutritional health coming from him, which I knew that going into it. So I knew I needed to add someone else to my team of how I'm going to help myself prepare for Spartan and change how I eat, like moving forward, change how I eat, because I could live off of pizza. I could go right back to that tomorrow. So if I don't have an accountability person, which is not my personal trainer, that's not what, when I hired him 3, 4, 5 years ago, I don't even know, a long time ago, that's not what I hired him for. I thought that I knew how to eat healthy, which to an extent I did, but nowhere's near to the extent of what you've taught me in just 2 months, two and a
Mhm.
half months. I mean, I've learned so much.
That's great. And yeah, I don't have buckets of rocks here, and I don't have a rope hanging them from my ceiling. So I wouldn't have been able to help you there. So, what was like that thing that really made you say, this is the time? How did we even end up here?
That's so crazy. I was so frustrated. So because we're in a pandemic, and so just a little bit of backstory. I had my kids 10 weeks early. So I was on bed rest for 6 weeks before that. This is what I imagined when I was planning to start having children. I'm in the best shape of my life. I've been working out. I'm healthy. My body is strong. I'm going to have babies, right? Well, I planned on having a baby, but I had two. So I got put on bed rest at, oh, I don't even know, 5 months pregnant, maybe 4.5 months pregnant. So I was on bed rest for 6 weeks. And then I had my babies at 30 weeks. And then they stayed in the NICU for 30 days, 30 and 31. And so but I really believed that I was going to get pregnant. I'm just going to keep working out, not as extreme as I was, right? But keep yoga, stretching, light weights, some running. You see women who run right up until they give birth. That's how I imagined it would go. That's not how it went, right? I could not work out from I found out I was pregnant in November. Right away, mid-December, I found out I was pregnant with twins, and my OBGYN was like, no weightlifting. You're high risk because you have two. So I didn't get to work out all of 2019. Then 2020 came and spring came, and I was like, this is it. We're going to get back outside. We're going to be hiking, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I had 1-year-olds, and there was a pandemic. I had to stay home, right? My job was, out, where my husband had to keep going to work. So it was just me and 2 1-year-olds home in a house. And yeah, I could put him in a stroller and we could go walking, but I tried putting 2 papooses on and go hiking with them. It was wild. So I didn't start working out again until July. So I went 2 years without working out, and then put into a pandemic. And then finally I was allowed to go back to my trainer because it's just him and I in a private gym in July. But from July until you magically reached out to me in December, I don't even know how that happened. Your friend requested me out of nowhere. I'm like, sure, let's be friends. And then you're like, I don't know, I don't remember what you asked me, but you reached out to me. And I was like, yeah, that was 5 months into me working out. And I wasn't losing weight. I was gaining weight because I was eating ridiculously. It's disgusting, honestly. So it all changed because you reached out to me and I was so ready. The next question is, what was your biggest fear? And I just want to answer that because I didn't have a fear. I wasn't scared because it couldn't get any worse than it already was. Like, I was in such a bad place mentally because I was just eating my everything, right? So we kind of missed spring, summer, fall because of our normal spring, summer, fall. We hike, we camp, we ride horses, we bring our horses camping with us. We ride dirt bikes. This past spring, summer, fall, we didn't do much of that because life was closed. It was weird. And then, so in December, I was so overweight. I was 167 pounds. I only got up to 180 pounds carrying twins.
Wow.
So I was 167 pounds that I had gained after having twins. So I wasn't scared. I needed a change in my life, and you were the perfect change.
Yeah. And so tell us about your results from January 4th to February 24th.
So I have lost 17 pounds, a ridiculous amount of inches. I'm really bad at taking before and after pictures. I wish I was better at that, but oh my gosh, I literally only have my 167-pound picture. I still don't even have 150.
Better start taking some.
I know. You're gonna end up getting them in my underwear versus in my sweatpants and hoodie. But I'm super happy. Training is better. Your workouts are better. Yoga is better. Life is better, lighter. My life is lighter because I'm lighter and I'm stronger, and it's easier to get stronger since I lost 10 pounds. So I love it.
I think one of the big things that I get from my clients is just not the physical weight even, but just that weight lifted off their shoulders of the stress of not knowing what to do, right? Because that is so frustrating. And the stress of trying something and then failing and trying and failing, and that takes a toll, and that almost makes us not want to try anymore for fear of failure, right? And
I
so
agree.
it's almost easier just to not do anything and, and ignore the fact that the scale keeps going up and just not get on it.
Yes, I did that for months. I just did not get on the scale and I didn't change anything. And one day I would eat healthy, and then the next day I didn't make anything for the next day. So I would just order something off of Grubhub again.
Yeah. And so you had also mentioned, I remember, that you remembered a time when you were in a bikini and you looked amazing, right? Long time ago. And so how are you feeling in relationship to that Jenny that you remember?
So that was June or July of 2018. I will never forget that moment. I was with a group of people who are very fit, and I've been good friends with this very fit group of people, and I've never been a skinny, like I don't have a small stature. I am built like I'm a linebacker, but a girl. If you saw my brothers, they're huge, they're 6'2", I'm 5'4", but we're all big boned, right? But this group of people that I love dearly are fitness fanatics. They eat very good all the time, and they look wonderful and they're healthy. And I took a picture in my bikini with them 3 years ago, this coming July. And I feel like I'm getting back by this July. I'll be back to that. I'll be able to take that same picture.
That's amazing. So, what are some of the habits, the major habits that you've changed and things, the biggest lessons you've learned?
Meal prepping. Oh my God. So and it's every single week, right? So it doesn't have to be every single day. That's the beautiful thing about it. It can be, okay, I grocery shop on Friday or Saturday, and then either Saturday or Sunday, I spend a good chunk of time prepping for the week. If I find that my schedule, because I work for myself, if I find that there's a day during the week that I'm slow, I will just go home and I will spend a couple hours meal prepping or just organizing my thoughts or making a schedule for what I'm going to eat next week. If I find that there's a moment of time, my fitness comes first, because that is what I need to do to mentally be healthy enough to be happy around my kids and my husband, because when I'm overweight, I'm miserable. When I'm weak, I'm miserable. So meal prep, being prepared, whether it's a grocery list before you go in the grocery store, or it's a meal for the next day or next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. I like having more made than as many days as I can prep that the food won't go bad. That's what I like to have prepped.
We don't want spoiled food.
No, I do not like waste. I do not like throwing things out. So I will take into account how long cucumbers cut up takes, or how long they'll last, and keeping them separated from my peppers because they kind of tend to go bad a little bit faster when they're mixed up. So preparation,
Yeah.
having my meals prepped.
Now,
So every morning I just grab my breakfast, lunch, and snack, and I put it in. I don't even have to put it in a lunchbox because I'm coming to a place with a refrigerator, but I put it in a bag, I run out the door, and I'm done. It's no time wasted.
yeah, it's great. Now, so you had mentioned at the beginning of the call that before it was all everybody else before you. Do you feel like you're mastering this ability to self-care and prioritize yourself? And how important is that, do you think, now?
I'm getting better at it. I don't think that I've mastered it per se, um, because I will still make sure that I do everything after the babies go to bed at 7, but from 7 to 11, I mean, gosh, that's a lot of time, that I don't have to be watching TV. I can be meal prepping, I can be working out, I can be doing a lot of things. So, but I do take a few hours on the weekend when I used to feel guilty about it. I don't know that I've mastered it because I still feel kind of guilty, but my husband's there. He can play with the
Yeah.
kids for a few hours.
And how has this impacted them? I know you've mentioned them along the way.
Yes. So I was worried. I've always been a stickler for them eating healthy. I don't want them to grow up the way that my husband and I grew up, eating warmed up Elios or warmed up pizza bites or chicken nuggets every 5 seconds. My nephew, he would only eat mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, crap. He would only eat crap. And I just did not want my kids to grow up that way. So I feel like if they knew nothing else but healthy food, that they wouldn't grow up that way. And they are great little eaters, and they always have been. But I was getting so unhealthy, and I was going down the wrong path as far as eating. And I felt like every now and then, which isn't a bad thing, I guess, but more often than I would like, I was feeding them a warmed up Elios or chicken nuggets or mac and cheese because I was eating them. I love them. They're delicious. I think that, your timing was everything, because I was miserable, but also I was having a fear that I was starting to go down the wrong path of what I was feeding my children.
Mhm.
So they eat what I eat, which some of the things, I can't believe it. I can never get them to eat broccoli, right? They hate broccoli. So I make this stir-fried veggie, Asian stir fry. I'm not sure which one, but it's the sesame seed oil one. And you just steam all your vegetables, maximum 10 minutes. And there's a little bit of coconut oil, sesame seed oil. I add garlic to it. It's not in the recipe, but I add garlic to everything. And you steam it. And then I mix it with 3/4 cup of quinoa, and I'm eating it. And they're like these little birdies that never have eaten before, like, give me some. I'm like, okay, here's some broccoli. And they're eating broccoli, they're eating carrots, which they do love those. Zucchini.
Mhm.
What's the other thing that's in there? I don't know. Oh,
Peppers. Yep.
peppers. So, but I could never get them to eat broccoli. They will crush this steamed broccoli that
This
has
is
a little bit
great.
of sesame seed oil and coconut oil. So and it's healthy. It's good for
Yeah.
them.
And
And
your husband?
okay. So we eat 2 different meals a night, which drives me crazy.
Mhm.
But more often than before, he will be like, can I eat these cucumbers and peppers? And I'm like, yes. And
Mhm.
he'll be like, can I eat this salad? And I'll be like, yes. He puts 10 pounds of blue cheese dressing and croutons and bacon bits out of a shaky thing. Oh, it's painful. But baby steps.
Yeah,
So,
well, my husband walked in because I thought about you this morning, and also another client of mine. My husband walked in and said, can I have that salad that's in the fridge? I said, yeah, I bought that one for you, because I bought him like an Asian Caesar salad kit or something. I was like, yeah, I bought that one for you. He's like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't your salad for something for dinner or whatever. And I
yes.
was like, yes, eat it, go ahead. Like, I
Yes.
chicken. So then I saw his salad container on the counter, and it had like cut up grilled chicken and craisins. He likes little nuts and some little lemon poppy seed dressing in a
Mm.
container inside the container. I'm like, oh, good. You made your own thing. You did great. All it
Yeah.
to be there and easy.
Yes.
And he'll grab it. So that feels really good. So, and I know you had one, if you don't mind me bringing it up, one little snag and struggle during this past, 6 weeks or so, or 2 months now. And that's with some family not supporting. And I feel like this is something that others go through, where friends and family, people who are really close, when we change our lifestyle for the better, have a really hard time accepting that.
Yeah.
Walk us through how that's been, and what you've done.
So I'm going to start off by saying my conclusion to it, and then I'll explain. My conclusion is that they are guilty. This is hard. So learning a whole entire new way of life is hard. It's a learning experience. You have ups, you have downs, blah, blah, blah. But I've had so many people be like, I could never do that. You can. But I had one family member straight up ask me, why are you doing this? How long are you going to be doing this for? Are you just doing it until April? That's when my first Spartan was supposed to be, which just got canceled. But how long are you going to be doing this for? What? I'm sorry, but would we ever ask a smoker, why are you quitting smoking? No, we would never say that. Or, a drug addict, why are you quitting heroin? We wouldn't ask that. We would celebrate them and be so proud of them for giving up heroin or giving up a cigarettes, which I am a former smoker. I quit smoking in August, and everybody celebrated that. But eating healthy makes people who eat unhealthy and they do not want to change feel guilty. So I have had to just really recognize that, let the snide backhanded remarks just roll off my shoulders, or avoid it, which isn't the best coping mechanism. But When you are laser focused on a goal, I don't think that it's fair for anybody to put any roadblocks in front of you when you're doing something healthy. You know, if I was, going down the wrong path of the opposite way, I would wish somebody would have said, maybe don't eat half a pie of pizza, maybe just a slice. But nobody says that. Nobody ever says that. It's okay. It's okay. You'll lose the weight. It's okay. It's just today. No, but then I start eating healthy and I regularly um, get snide remarks about it, but it's okay. It's just their thing. They're not ready to change. They can't change. They don't want to change. They don't think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. They would rather take medicine for high cholesterol or high blood pressure or any of those things, that insulin for diabetes, because that is easier to take that daily pill than it is to exercise daily and meal prep weekly and eat salads and other really delicious healthy food on a regular basis. So it's a projection. It's not a reflection.
Great. Good. Let's leave that there. So I'm really proud of you for how you're handling that. So my program, this is the my last question. My program is called Empowered Fitness Mastery, and I just kind of would love to know your reflections, your review, your takeaways, and do you feel like that is the proper name for my program? And do you feel that that's what you've gotten from me?
Yeah, empowered, right? That's perfect. And fitness mastery, right? So first of all, I'm more empowered than ever. I have the tools, and not just to eat healthy or exercise. So probably bigger than you sending me recipes and meal plans and shopping list and every type of fitness you could imagine that you can do at home that is doable for anybody. I can go to you and I was pissed last Wednesday. I was just in a mood. I was struggling. And so when we got on our call, you fixed that for me. And when I had that family member really go in on me hard about why am I doing this, and like it was a negative thing, you helped me with that, and you helped me look at it in a different perspective. And I may have failed if I didn't have those really bad days might have turned into Grubhub days, whatever type of fatty food it would have turned into those days. And instead, I stayed on track. I ate what I brought for lunch. I was happy, and I was happy about it. It wasn't like I just struggled the rest of the day. I talked to you, I text you, I ask you questions, and your empowerment is a big thing, and fitness mastery, yes.
Thank you. All right. Well, do you have anything that you want to add, or are we good?
Just thank you. Thank you for being there these past 2.5 months. And even when, 1 week I stayed, didn't lose any weight. And I was like, what the heck? You're like, it's okay. You're working out a lot. So thank you. Thank you for always being there. And I think that you're one of the best things that's ever happened to my health.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's so special to me to have such an incredible client as well, who's lost 17 pounds in the last couple months, and continues to work hard and enjoy the process. That's really what I'm going for, is I want you to feel like you're intrinsically motivated, that it's not me dragging you along, making you do things, but that it's really you leading the way. And I think that's how we get and maintain these long-term results. But I also appreciate you showing up for every meeting and letting me know when, you had things come up, and staying open. I think that's huge when we have really open lines of communication. and when we can, just really connect well. So I'm very glad that I did connect with you on Facebook,
Me too. Mhm.
and that we've had this opportunity. I hope that it lasts a really long time, and that we continue to see incredible results and get you to your goals and probably beyond the goals that you think you have. And I really look forward to just watching your success. So thank you,
Thank
Jenny.
you.